I was hoping to film this vlog today talking about why I started cycling. Had a whole bunch planned, but if you can see in the background, the weather's starting to turn. Heard a little bit of thunder and might have to postpone this till tomorrow, so see you back then. Beautiful Sunday here in Nagoya, Japan. Riding into the mountains on the mountain bike of Toyota, which is by Nagoya, where I live in Japan. Just beautiful day. And so today I wanted to start a new style of video. So I'm still pretty new to this whole YouTube thing and figuring out what kind of videos I want to make. And a new series I want to try is just talking about the more mental aspect of cycling, so the mentality behind it, the different things you go through, the different struggles we face. So I thought I'd start with the beginning. Why do we cycle? Why did we start? And so on. So I wanted to share some of my personal stories, and some people maybe find that interesting. Also, if you're new to this channel, Two Wheel Cruise, my name's Cruz. I'm an American. I live and work in Japan. I've been here for a bit over 2 years now, and I love cycling, I love Japan, and I love travel. So that's usually the theme of my channel. Oh, it's getting pretty steep. So Japan, cycling, and traveling. So first let me start with a little bit more background information about me. I am 27 years old now, and I started cycling when I was about, when I say I started cycling, I mean wearing these kinds of clothes, the cyclist clothes, and participating in events and going on more serious rides. I started when I was about 16. So just as I was starting my last year in high school, I joined a mountain bike team, and that's why I'm going on a mountain bike ride today, to celebrate my origin. And from then on, just exploded. I grew up in Michigan, in Metro Detroit area, so started as a mountain biker. And since then, I've tried a lot of different types of cycling. I've raced cyclocross, road, track, mountain bike, all at a fairly decent level. I've traveled and raced in over half of the states in the US, and Canada, Puerto Rico, China, and more recently, Japan and Korea. So I've raced in a lot of different countries, raced a lot of different disciplines, seen a lot of different styles of racing. So let's go back to the beginning. How did this all start? Why did I start cycling to begin with? It's hard to talk and go up the steep mountain at the same time. I think everyone, at least in the US, most people as a kid grows up loving bicycles because it's just fun. You can get anywhere you need to go. You don't need to rely on your parents. And I think that's where my first love for bicycles started, is I didn't have to depend on anyone to get somewhere. So if I wanted to go to my friends, just hop on my bike and go. So that's before getting a car, and started from there. So I had a mountain bike, not a real mountain bike, one of those cheap Walmart mountain bikes, only $100, nothing great. But it did the job. It was durable. I could ride to my friend's house, and it was great. So I was really lucky growing up. Right behind my house, there was this park called Bloomer Park. And it's a beautiful park, not too big, but they've got a bunch of mountain bike trails there, and great mountain bike trails. So I'd often take it's getting a little bumpy, might have to come back. So in high school, I often would ride my bike to school as well. I didn't really like taking the bus, and I enjoyed riding my bike there in the morning. I would cut through this park to get to school because it was a shortcut. I could go the long way around, or I could cut through these trails. So I started riding trails that way. And one time when I was riding, I found these more serious cyclists. So they had the clothes and everything. Riding this one-handed is a little bit too much. All right, made it through that section. So one day, there was these people in the cycling clothes, the spandex there, just riding around, and I thought I'd chase after them for some reason. I don't know, just some young high school kid with a lot of energy. And I didn't know the trails very well at that time because it was quite complex. There wasn't many directions. It's improved now, but back then there was no signs, no nothing. It was very easy to get lost back there. So I thought I'd chase after them, see if they could show me something new. And I'm on my crappy $100 Walmart bike, and I'm keeping up with them. So it was really fun. I really pushed myself to everything I had to chase after them. Ooh, quite dangerous here. If I keep making these videos, I'll be a pro at one-handed mountain biking. And then they asked me, are you entering the race in 2 weeks or something? And I was like, there's races? I had no idea, just super oblivious before then. So that just opened my whole world. All of a sudden it hit me, there's races, and that's something like I can do. So I decided to, yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm gonna go check out this race. I entered the beginner category and won by quite a lot. There wasn't too much competition because I was in beginner for the junior division for the young kids. So I went to the race, won. It was super short, super easy, and I just got hooked. Decided to buy a nice bike, and then from that point on, I wanted to improve. I wanted to go fast. I wanted to win, and I wanted to get up to the elite level as fast as I could. So some other background information. Growing up, I had played soccer my whole life, so I had that athletic base and that competitive drive that most athletes have. But my weakness in soccer was my skill. I had pretty good endurance and pretty fast running ability, but my footwork was horrible. I couldn't do anything, but I was faster than most people, so I had that to go back on. I liked cycling because it was mostly your endurance that mattered. Of course, in mountain biking, skill also matters, but it came a bit more naturally to me. So that's how I entered the cycling world. From there on, I was just exposed to different style races. People told me I should do road racing, so I did road racing. Also in Bloomer Park, there was a velodrome, which was free to ride for juniors. So everyone there, I'm super grateful to Dale Hughes. He's the guy who built the track, designs it. He designs tracks all over the world. Great guy. And all the volunteers that work at that track. So some of the main ones, Ed, Bruce, Gene, all those people, just great community. The International Velodrome at Bloomer Park, and they really took care of me and shaped my growth as a cyclist and really pushed me to the next level with all the workouts and stuff we did there. What else? Let's try and get back on track. So the main focus of this video is why do I cycle? And also a little bit of how did I start getting into cycling? So when I began, it was with this goal of wanting to be fast, wanting to be the best kind of goal. It wasn't so much that cycling was fun. Of course, I thought it was fun because I was competitive and winning is fun. So it's quite different than how I view cycling now, about 10 years later. So I started when I was about 16, I'm 27 now. And just my view towards cycling has drastically changed throughout these last 10 years. I've gone through plenty of highs, plenty of lows, and that's why I wanted to share my story. Maybe people have gone through similar experiences, and there's all different types of cycling. So my first exposure was, of course, just getting around, getting to the place I needed to go. Then my second exposure was racing, being fast, being first, and for that goal, I sacrificed a lot. I really wanted to be the best I could be. I wanted to be best in the state, and that transitioned towards wanting to be best in the country even, once I started racing more regional and national level races. Snake, don't see those too often. Let's get a closer look. You see him? There he goes. This is my bike. It's got scale 26.5, and things are getting pretty rough here, so I don't think I can one-hand this. Gonna take a little break, continue talking here. So I was super fixated on this goal. I wanted to be the best. I was super motivated. I was training every single day, sometimes even twice a day, and racing every week. Sometimes I raced 4 times a week. We had Friday night track races, crit road race Saturday, Sunday, so that's 3. And we also had weekly training races or bi-weekly training races every Wednesday. So some weeks I was racing up to 4 times, and I achieved some success in my goals that I wanted to achieve. I was state champion in certain track cycling events. I was the Midwest regional champion for collegiate cyclocross. and a couple national podiums with my collegiate teams as well. So to some degree, I did achieve my original goal with cycling, my original motivation. At the same time, I wasn't really satisfied with what I had. I always wanted more. I felt like everything I achieved wasn't good enough. And eventually it just wore me down, maintaining that training schedule, the sacrifices you have to make in your life, and I ended up quitting cycling for a while. So I think I'll make another video about that topic. It's a little bit more dark, but I just needed a break. I wanted to live a more normal life. I didn't want to have to go to bed early every night, worry about my recovery and everything that I was eating. I wanted to live a more normal life for a 20-year-old kind of person. So I quit, and actually I went to go study abroad in Japan, and that's kind of what led me here. So that's another story for another time. But when I came back to cycling, a lot changed. My goal wasn't so much to be the best anymore. I already had realized I didn't want to, it's not that I didn't want to, I couldn't put in the effort that was required to be the best. I was always told, like, think about your rivals, think about the amount of effort that they're putting in to be the best, and you have to go one step further. And I could do that for a while, but with that mentality, cycling lost its appeal. It became more like a job than it was something that I did because I enjoyed doing it. And that's when I realized the pro life wasn't for me. So this dream I'd carried for a long time, I want to be a pro, I just realized like that's something, it's not everything I thought it would be. So once I realized that kind of turned it off for me. So coming back, my whole attitude with cycling is different now. I ride when I want to ride. If it's raining, I don't have to worry to do an indoor training session or anything like that. I just ride when I want to ride, when the weather's nice, and I can honestly say it's much better this way. So being here in Japan, cycling here in Japan has just opened up my eyes to a whole new type of cycling. Growing up in Michigan, if you don't know about Michigan, it's really flat. It's automotive state. There's lots of cars, there's lots of roads, and the roads are really bad condition. And it's not like here. Here in Japan, there's mountains everywhere. Just beautiful mountains that you can ride through, just these roads that no one is on. And certainly in other places in the US, like places with mountains, Kentucky, I lived there for a while, there's some really nice cycling there. But I feel like in Michigan where I grew up, I couldn't do the same kind of riding for fun, from the standpoint of going off to see something new. And that's one thing I love about riding here in Japan, is just there's so many beautiful places. And I don't have a car here, so once again my bike has become my method of transportation, and also what I use to go see something new here and explore something. It's kind of funny how things work out. I was so focused on cycling and that being my job, what I wanted to pursue in my life, and then I ended up quitting that, coming to Japan to study abroad. And at that time I didn't bring a bike. I didn't cycle for at least a full year. I didn't even touch a bicycle. I didn't even buy a cheap commuter. I just wanted to be completely cut out from bicycles. And now here I am in Japan. I've got 5 bicycles in my tiny apartment, and just way happier than I was before when I was competing at a high level. And so I'm not quite sure how to end this video. I'm still pretty new to this, so apologies if I'm kind of all over the place. Hopefully it'll get better. So anyway, I want to continue with this series, but I'm gonna do it in another video. I've been riding for 10 years now and just gone through a lot of highs and lows with the bike, and in other videos I'm going to talk about those experiences a little bit, but hopefully the other videos will be a little bit more organized. I'm going to go finish my ride, get up to the top of this mountain, and let's go. This part's pretty much impossible to ride. Gonna have to walk. Looks like they're struggling. What you got? Always people doing that out here. I'm not sure exactly what that sport is called. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. Shot. testing out the new GoPro helmet mount. First time trying that. So we'll see how that footage comes out. This is one of my favorite places to ride to. Little secret spot on the trail. Sounds like someone's singing right now. Let's go check it out. So unfortunately, a bit smoggy, so you can't see too far in the distance, but you can see some of the surrounding mountains. On a really clear day, you can see some beautiful snow-capped mountains in the distance. All right, let's head back, get some food. Matcha and ipiki.
180円。感謝込めて。ありがとうございます。抹茶いただきました。
There we go. So they got a new flavor today. I'm gonna try it out. Normally I get the regular red bean. Today they have matcha on, so green tea mixed with the red bean. It's alright. Prefer the regular one better though. You can see the green tea jam or whatever it is. Always eat from the tail. If you know why, write it in the comments. Not everyone knows this. Alright, today's ride is done. Thanks for joining me and listening all the way. If you like these kinds of videos, make sure to give a thumbs up. If you have any questions you want to ask, maybe anything about living in Japan, about my cycling past, or just anything, any questions, feel free to add it in the comments, and if it's a good topic, maybe I'll make a video about it. Anyway, thanks again. See you next time.